Londeka, thank you very much for making time to talk to us on Morning Live this morning. Speak to us about your journey. I mean, who is Londeka and where did you grow up?
Londeka is a young girl from the northern part of KZN, in a small town called Ulunde. I was born and I grew up there until I was about 10, and my family and I moved to Durban. So I firstly studied tourism. I'm a person who loved traveling in tourism, but when I got to the industry, I actually decided that I'm actually not happy. It's not what I wanted to do. I later then ventured into fashion, where I added law as well as part of the fashion industry. So I started Malondié at the age of 23, not really Malondié, it was Dream Fashion at the time. I started it at the age of 23, and then from there, well, I knew I had to quit my job because I was already working in the tourism industry. I started the fashion brand together with my LLB studies. So right today I qualify as a fashion designer and a fashion lawyer.
Let's speak about the brand Malondié. Who do you guys cater for? I mean, what sort of woman do you see? What's a Malondié woman, rather?
You know, a Malondié woman is any woman who is working hard to cement themselves in whatever industry they're in. A hardworking woman, a brave woman, a woman who wants to stand out in each and everything they're doing. Because as part of me building the brand, I am that person. I'm a person that when I do something, I need to really do it and achieve what I'm doing. So I perceive a Malondié woman as the same person, a person who is working hard to cement themselves in whatever field they're in, a powerful woman. It can be a mother, it can be, if you want to cement yourself as a mother, it's that. If you want to cement yourself in whatever industry you're working in. So in all, Malondié woman is a powerful woman.
Let's speak about your late mother. I know she also is part of the inspiration and your drive behind the brand.
Yes.
Speak to us about your mom and the role that she plays in the whole brand.
Whew, you know, when I have to talk about that woman, she is a very special woman in my life. I say is because I still have conversations with her. Like, I'll be driving and I'm just having chats with her because I strongly believe that people that we love that have left us are still present somehow in the spirit. So my mom was a very fashionable mom. You know, I keep having this image of her walking down Ekaya with sheer, you see your sheer Beyonce stockings. She was buying them every week. She was always in those sheer Beyonce stockings, nice dresses, long hair. She's always been someone who wanted, I mean, even makeup. At the time, you know, makeup wasn't so trendy, but mom had everything that had to do with makeup. She wore makeup, she wore extensions, weaves, and she would dress up very nicely every day in a very small town of Ulunde, but mom would just try to look good every day. So I didn't know that she was instilling the same to me, because I'd look at her and be like, yo, mom is just always made up, you know. But later on in life, when I started discovering myself and what I wanted to do, I didn't see the seeds she was planting. So today, I would say that she is the inspiration behind the Malondié brand, because for me to love what I'm doing, it was instilled by her teachings. Yeah.
And the girl back then that you mentioned and talk about, what was her fashion sense then? I'm interested because you speak about your mom's influence. I mean, back then, looking at your fashion sense, what was it like?
You know, thinking about it now, I had moments where I'd steal her clothes and go and alter them. And she'll be so mad when she sees me wearing them. But my fashion sense was a general, you know, teenager look, where you just want maybe big jeans or whatever that the teenagers were wearing at the time, or whatever that she felt she wanted us to wear. I remember for church, we would dress up for church like proper. I had this pink dress that had a bell every time I walk or I run. So when I think of everything and how she used to dress my sisters and I, it was just so beautiful. She made sure there was this shoes that were called Elefante or something shoes. Back in the day, they were found at Edgar's. So she was that person that would dress us up and make sure that when it's time for church, we look good. When it's time for home, we always dressed up.
Do you have a fashion icon? I mean, someone that you looked up to, besides your mom, you just mentioned your mom. Who else that in the fashion industry that you're like, nah, this person, if I could just choose like him or her, then...
It's me. I actually, you know what, I enjoy my clothes. I love how I dress. So, you know what, I would appreciate someone like, oh, you look good, or she looks good and everything, but I don't really have an icon. So that's what I'm trying to build with myself, because I actually enjoy what I create, because I think people enjoy when you create what you love as well, which is why I believe so much in running my own brands. So you really find me imitating someone else, but I just wear what Londeka wants, and that's it. So I'll just say myself, and then sometimes I think I'm trying to think who is great. Well, a lot of people are great. You know, you get inspirations from different people, but I can't really say their whole inspiration. I'll say maybe that outfit for that day was really nice, but I'd say myself still.
Let's speak more about the brand. I mean, I've noticed that you cater for women of all shapes and sizes. I mean, like from your tiny sizes to your plus size models.
Yes.
Speak to us about that inspiration.
You know what? It really didn't start like that. You know, I was on a normal, like any other fashion brand that will cater for your small women. But the type of woman that came to me, so I'll say the inspiration came from Malondié women, of which I'm very happy that, you know, your clients will teach you things sometimes. So it's the same thing that happened with me. I was just normal, because I've never been a bigger lady as well. So I've always thought it would be great to just create items that are suitable for me, until I saw the type of woman that started approaching me. So then it was a new perspective for the business. It was a change, because now I started, when you get a woman walking in here and she's a plus size, and you're like, what am I going to do? And when you create, they eventually love it. You get a woman who's in a wheelchair, you get a woman who's, you know, in all type of women dress Malondié, because we actually, our designs, they're not only catered for your small type of woman or any other kind of woman, but for all women. So our designs are the ones that determine that, listen, I can walk in here in a wheelchair and you can assist me. I can walk in here as a plus size and you can assist me. So it's basically clients who actually gave me that, who actually taught me that listen, you are actually catering for all of us.
And being in the industry for so long, I mean, you probably encountered problems. Speak to us about the challenges that you've encountered.
You know what? One of the challenges I'd say is that in the beginning, it's not so easy. And it's very unfortunate that you would always think that, you know what, can I just wake up tomorrow and be a big brand? It doesn't work like that. I said to you, I started the brand when I was 23 as Dream Fashion, but today I'm 33, and only then I'm getting recognition. And some people and young designers or new people in business just think that they can wake up and it can be done. So I had a lot of challenges with regards to funding. I'm sitting here today, like, I haven't had much funding, but I've recently as well, met up with a company called Retail Capital. So those are the guys that have been assisting me financially. But when it comes to all these, you see the funding companies that will always market and come. You guys, it doesn't work. So for the longest time, I ran a cash business. And running a cash business is not sustainable. So those are one of the challenges, getting funding in South Africa, being funded in South Africa. You have to work, if you don't have solid support, it's going to be a struggle. And then number two, it can be, I have a challenge currently with your Chinese and Marabastadi and Small Street. So some of my items are being seen there. Not really my items, but counterfeit. You did, right?
Yeah.
So we have counterfeit. But you know what? Someone said to me the other day that, listen, people don't copy, people don't imitate what is not great. You might think that you can't fight it, but maybe just let it be, because I mean there's bigger brands that haven't been able to fight this fight. So maybe it means you're doing something great. Look at it that way. Don't focus on the negative, but focus on what grows the brand. So that's what I've been looking at and try. You know, when I see something post, and my clients will send it to me, like they'll send emails, look at this. It's frustrating, but as soon as that person said to me, listen, it means you're doing great. People only imitate what is great. They will not imitate mediocre. So for me, I started looking at it that way, because if I start focusing my energy on them, trust me, I won't create another amazing piece next time, because my energies will be shifted.
Definitely. And who's been your cheerleader? I mean, who's always been at your corner supporting you throughout this?
Oh my God, I have 2 sisters. But I'd say, sorry, but my biggest cheerleader has been my sister, Ulu. Lu has been, I'd say, when you open her closet, it's full of Malondié items. And when I'm not sure about other designs, she'd actually literally come here to see my stuff. So Ulu has been a very great support in my journey, and also my kids and husband, yes. But when I talk about my sister, I feel like she has believed in me from the beginning, and that has really assisted me to keep pushing, because I didn't only want to make her happy, but I didn't want to disappoint her. So she has been a great part of support structure.
And also, speak to us about the process of making these beautiful garments. I mean, I see that you also employ people now.
Yes.
SMME here.
Yes.
Yeah, speak to us about how many people you employ and the process of making Malondié piece.
Okay, we currently have 12 staff members, full-time, all of them. And then the process, you know, when I have to create, I don't just get inspiration and draw or whatever. I can get ideas in my head and everything. But what normally makes sense to me, I go to a fabric shop and I sit around fabric. And even if I cover it over my shoulders or anything, because for me, how fabric feels is important more than anything else. So I need comfortable fabric. I need fabric that feels nice on your skin. So those are part of the things that I do when I have to create a range. I have to create my pieces depending on how the fabric feels as well. So that's actually part of my inspiration, and also getting to be alone sometimes. I'm really alone because I have quite a lot of babies. But when I need time, I actually go, and even if I have to book myself somewhere in a hotel or in a spa, just to gather my thoughts, and then I come back and I'm able to be productive again.
Is there a difference between your runway clothing and your ready-to-wear?
No, because what I create, even if it's on the runway, I create items that are practical, items that are ready to wear. So I hardly create anything that you say, okay, I can't wear that. But what I try to do, I create items that I can wear myself. I'm normally the muse. Whatever I create needs to look good on me. So once it looks good on me, then I can move it to the model or I can move it to the runway. So normally, if you ask the team, no one doesn't know my size or my measurements, because what happens is that when you have to create something, it needs to start with where I'm gonna fit. I have to fit on it, I have to love it, I have to feel it. Once I love it, trust me, a Malondié woman's gonna love it.
And you recently showcased at the Fashion Week, Africa Fashion Week. Speak to us about that experience for you.
Oh my God, guys. You know what? It was amazing. I remember when I walked out, at some point I felt like I was flying, because everyone stood up, like the whole house, and it was a full house. Everyone stood up and I was like, okay, what did I create? But, you know, one thing that us as designers look forward to is the reception. How is your garments going to be received by the people? So when you get a stand-up ovation, if you get applauded that much, for me, it was amazing. You know, doing fashion shows. I remember a friend designer said to me, fashion shows are addictive. So actually, it feels like a graduation. It feels like you are done, well done. That was amazing. Because the process in creating, we did 35 looks. So creating 35 looks is not child's play, because we actually didn't create 35 looks. We create, I think, about 45, but others are discarded as we move. I can love it today, tomorrow it's over. We create a lot of garments until we decide on the 35 that's going to be on the runway. So when you get into that stage of actually showcasing and people applauding and saying, well done, everything was beautiful, you feel very rewarded. It's so fulfilling. It was an amazing experience for me.
And what has been your biggest achievement, for 2023?
2023, actually my biggest achievement was graduating for my LLB. So that has been my greatest achievement, because it's something that I actually really just wanted to get it done, because another field of fashion that I aspire to specialize in is your intellectual property, copyright and trademark law. So when it comes to all of that, when I graduated in March, I was like, no musunga valunyak. I'm done. Because honestly, it has been one of my greatest achievements. Yeah.
And what more do you have planned for the brand? Where would you like to see it go?
I'd love to see the brand going international. It's nice to be local is lekker and type of brand. It's nice to be a proudly South African brand. But the moment you build an empire, you build a legacy, I'd love for the brand to be international. I'd love for you to get it in New York. I'd love for you to get it in Britain, London. I'd love for it to be not just a South African brand, but it must be the brand originated in South Africa and now it's across the world. So that's what I want to do. I feel like I haven't reached that level as much as we courier every week to the USA, to Canada, to Cayman Islands. Those are the places that we mostly courier to. But to me, I feel that there's still more that needs to be done. We need to have a branch in London. We need to have a branch in New York. There's opportunities for growth every day. Even the sky's not at my limit. I really just want to grow. Hence, another thing I'm trying to do. I'm trying to lure my kids into the fashion business, so that if, God forbid, anything happens for me today, Malondié continues. It doesn't have to stop by me. So we need that type of brand that is available, that is there forever.